Alright, let me make sure that the stream goes up and we'll go ahead and get started. Stream is up. Alright. Welcome to the first video recording of our D&D games and of Titansgrave, the Ashes of Elkana D&D edition. Does anybody need a recap from what happened last week?
Oh, I can kill the sandworm with a Gatling gun.
I want to hear Geo say it.
So, last week, we started our trip to Brewcore, and we came across an illegal toll road that Nils decided, hey, I'm going to backstab this person. For absolutely no reason that anybody else knows about.
This isn't the first time.
Yeah. Secrets.
As you guys continued going along, as Cedric so well put it, Shai Halu came out of nowhere. Was hungry, was thirsty for beer. All he ate was lead. And he ate lead.
How much damage did I do? How much damage did I do?
You did a grand total. I actually went back and listened a couple of times. You did a grand total of over 100 damage.
Level 2.
At level 2.
Also, Eddie, the fact that you have not read Dune worries me.
Okay.
Just say you don't know who fucking Shai Hulud is.
No, I sorry.
It is literally a sci-fi classic.
Anyway,
Shia LaBeouf?
we don't have.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Anyway.
So, we arrive at Brewcore, basically just right as where we left off. You guys are entering what is essentially a mansion that is surrounded by 4 giant columns of what can only be described as like separate breweries. Essentially, each one has its own mill, its own factory, and you can tell that even though the beer baron lives in the central mansion, this is essentially a small city within itself. It kind of works in tandem. There's food dispensaries and stuff like that. Nobody seems to be angry. Everybody seems to be very much enjoying the time that's going around here, and nobody's kind of really pissed at the beer baron. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that he keeps giving away free beer to his employees. Who knows? As you guys arrive, you see a dragonborn who is, from your best guess, is about yes, that is a word, half cybernetic. She stands very almost like she's trying to elongate herself. Her hands are clasped in front of her. Welcome to Brewcore. I am Lasada, the head of the establishment, if you wish to call it that. I see that Grimhawk has brought more of his, and she kind of almost turns her nose up, friends. Very well, it appears that I will need to fix 1, 2, 4 rooms. As she's kind of deciding to push you all even further into the ground, you all begin to notice that her eye lingers for just a few seconds on Leonard. Doesn't really make eye contact. She just kind of looks and then just kind of continues onward. She turns around and goes back inside. At this point, Grimhawk comes up and he goes, "You'll have to forgive Lestrada. She is nearly as old as the Brewcore itself. She has been here, I would probably have to say her entire life. But come, my friends, come inside." The doors open and you guys are now inside Brewcore. What would you like to do?
I just look around.
So, as you guys kind of start to look around and see everything that's kind of going on, the compared to where you guys were, the Pegasus Roadhouse, this place has a much more refined look to it that has been aged over the years very, very well. Very, very little technical magicry is kind of going around. The columns are almost what you would consider man-made. The flooring below you is very fine wood. There's carpets everywhere. As you begin to kind of look around, though, as you enter, you notice that there are some of these podiums that appear to be holding very small casks of what you would guess are ale and beer, all different kinds. Yep, kind of like a welcoming area for tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, Nils would just be like, ooh, fancy beer. Time to get my little flight class. It's like, where do I get the flight?
So as you kind of go up, Nils, you kind of start looking, and the first one that you come across is a beer that you've heard of, but you've never heard or seen, or you've never seen before. It's one of those where it's, it only gets brewed maybe once every 5 years, and that's if you're lucky. And you're kind of looking upon this, and then you remember the name, and you remember why you're a little hesitant to try it. The Grandma Sweat Stout now lays before you.
The
What
what?
you can try. I found something for you. Come.
It's called the Grandma's Sweat Stout.
I'm out.
Done. Hard pass.
Why not? Sometimes these names are just eccentric, and I just down a little sip.
Okay, please make a Constitution check for me.
Oh, okay.
Down a little sip.
A little sip. Like when you're at a brewery. And
This is basically to see that you don't fail.
Okay. Unpack everything here. Alright.
While he's doing that, where does the stewardess go?
The stewardess is almost... She's moving very, very, very slowly, but she has kind of gone off towards the left. What was that, Eddie?
15. All
right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back to that. She's kind of gone off to the left, what you would assume down as a corridor of guest rooms, and other sort of, basic lodgings kind of area. She doesn't seem to be really interested in talking with any of you, but you notice that she is moving very, very slowly. Nils, as you drink this, the beer that you had at the Pegasus Roadhouse was nothing compared to the Grandma Sweat Stout. This is some immaculate alcohol. This is honestly really, really good. You're not sure if it's the hops that he used, or if it's some sort of spice that he added, or if it's the little hints of citrus that you get as you're drinking. All you know is that this is the best beer that you've ever had in your life.
You're missing
Just
out.
like Grandma used to sweat.
I don't know if you guys heard Cage.
Oh, we heard.
Okay.
I heard it. I
Okay.
didn't say it.
I think Warren's actually going to be chasing after Lasara.
What? Okay, all beer for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that as well.
Okay.
And you might also see Nils just kind of downing beer a little bit more than you usually done. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Slow the fuck down.
Why? I'm celebrating.
As the beer baron comes up behind Nils and goes, "It's quite all right, my friend. Did you know that we happen to brew the Grandma's Sweat Stout right here in Mill 4.
Fascinating.
Show me to the grandfather in which that sweats.
So, Leonard, as you're kind of going in the opposite direction to try to find Lestada, again, you can obviously tell that she hears you coming. Her, she kind of peeks up behind her as you're kind of getting closer. But she's not turning around to notice you. She's kind of opening doors, pulling out keys and unlocking them.
I look down to Warren and she seems suspicious to you.
She's made of partially metal. I just wanted to know what that's about. Yeah, that's a little weird here.
I get an insight check on her.
Sure.
May I give him help, or would you like me to roll my own insight check?
I'll let you guys decide how you want to do that. If you either want to help Leonard
I'll
do
give-
his check.
I'll give help to Leonard.
Okay.
Roll advantage, please.
Oh, let's see how these guys are rolling tonight. It's a 14 insight.
You're kind of getting the idea that she's not necessarily hiding ill intent, but she definitely isn't telling you everything. You're not really getting a bad vibe off of her. It's more along the lines of she definitely knows more than what she's saying.
Okay. Well, she didn't say much, so.
Yeah. But you do at least discern that there was no ill intent from what she said.
Gotcha. So not malicious secrets, but definitely like a more reserved kind of
Right.
thing.
Chanterelle, what are you doing?
I am. I think I am going to be quietly observing.
Who are you trying to observe?
I'm just trying to observe, kind of like observe everybody that's all the staff. Everybody that.
So you're kind of almost kind of staying in plain sight, but kind of keeping an eye open.
Yeah.
So
People watching.
Yeah, people watching essentially. As you start to do that, again, your eyes kind of start to open up at just how big this place is. You walk down a hallway past where Nils is currently enjoying the grandma sweat, and you open into a very large dining room. You would estimate that this room
Don't say it like that.
Dining room?
No.
No, he's enjoying the grandma sweat.
It's in the book. Leave me alone.
Gross.
I think the problem is probably one of the negative things of doing it on video because we see each other react.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
I saw Javen break down.
I
Yeah, I know exactly what he's laughing at.
Like I said, that's the best part for me. I get to see how y'all react to it.
Right. It just makes those of us with ADHD a little bit more like, whoop.
Well, but now you're completely focused here.
Here, I can.
True. On your phone all the time.
Oh, fuck off, both of you. So you enter into a large dining room. You would estimate that this dining room is probably about 50 feet long and probably about 20 feet wide. This table can easily sit about 100 people just by kind of looking around it. And you're noticing these little droids just kind of carrying and putting plates down, getting candles ready. As you make a perception check for me really quick, Chantrell.
Yes, it does.
Javen, one of these days you and I are going to have a beard off.
Point that I got before I shaved it all off and let it start growing back.
Yeah.
10 plus.
Because it was like out to here.
Yeah, it was a lot lower for you. What'd you roll, Shane?
I wish I could grow a fucking beard, but it's just not on the fucking cards.
Kate, what'd you roll?
15.
15. So you're kind of just amazed by how big this room is, but you don't really notice that the beer baron has snuck up behind you and going, I hope you're hungry. I don't do that either. I was just trying to ask if you wanted food.
I will take food. Yes, I am hungry, and I am grateful of your hospitality, but please don't sneak up behind people.
That's my job.
What was the devil of that noise? People are weird.
Banner, could you, you're breaking the mood, dude.
You are.
Warren, what are you up to?
I am very interested in as far as cybernetics. So until otherwise, I'm sticking with Leo to kind of shadow her.
Go lay down.
So are you guys actually going to go up and speak with her, or are you guys just kind of following her?
You know what? Warren will go up to
Stuff
speak to
her
her.
out and then go and talk to her.
Yeah.
Stare at her but never speak.
I think Warren would probably be the more sociable one.
Okay.
And just be like, walk up and...
Alright, so, Warren, go ahead and walk up, and you again, Lasada has not really turned around to speak with you yet. She's still just kind of opening doors. As you get closer, you hear her mutter, those are the 4th guests that he's had in 2 months. If it wasn't for the beer that we brewed here, this manor would have closed down years ago.
Yeah, lay down.
Sounds like there's money trouble.
She doesn't even react to your words. She's kind of turning doors, left and right. As soon as you say something, she just kind of does this slow turn and goes, not recently, no. Can I help you, young master?
Something of a tinkerer myself. I'm very interested in some of the work you've had done. It looks very expensive and very well made, and if you would give me information, I would love to examine it.
No.
F?
And she just goes back and starts clicking open doors again.
I will walk back to Leo and just be like, well, she's not rude, but she's not nice.
Okay. Leonard, do you want to do anything else before we move on? You want to freeze your picture? No. Javen, can you hear me?
Keep your off.
Javen. Javen. Hands up if you can hear me. Hands up if you can hear Javen. We can't hear you, dude.
Explains why he's timed out.
Ah, that's why. Must have just gotten ahead. I was just sitting there like, okay, I need to know if it's me or if it's Javen.
No, those are valid questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for him to jump back on. So, Nils, go ahead and make another Constitution save for me. You've enjoyed a little too much. It's not even close to dinner time yet, and you've already had too much.
It's like when you go to a brewery and forget to eat beforehand and just start drinking all the samples. It's like, oh my. You know what? I'm gonna skip the next few rounds. Let me go walk this off, and I'm gonna just.
In fact, you've enjoyed so much, your stomach is starting to hurt, and you take 2 points of physical damage.
Oh no!
The beer, why have you done me wrong?
But he can just change out his stomach, right?
That was what we found out last week. Last week we found out that he changes his organs.
Oh, I thought we discussed that he could change his face, but not his organs.
Yeah, well, that's why we're joking.
Come on.
It was bringing up the lie that I brought up earlier, and then turning it around and smacking me in the face with it.
For you.
Alright, when Javen jumps back on, we'll jump back a little bit if we need to, but we're actually going to move forward until Javen jumps back on. We're going to go ahead and say that about an hour... I'm working on it. We're going to say that about an hour jumps ahead, and you guys hear throughout... Javen, if you need to just do audio, we're more than okay with that. I mean, if that's going to make it easier. Whatever's easiest for you, buddy. No response. Okay. You guys hear throughout the intercoms that, and you can definitely hear it in Lasada's voice, dinner is ready, and immediately kind of clicks off. As you guys have sort of kind of gone into your own separate rooms, for some of you who are of, let's say, normal shape, and of a normal build, some of the guests have left kind of fine clothing behind. Nils and Chantrell, you guys actually have fine dinner evening wear.
Yes.
I get to dress up. Yay!
Warren, however, there was no such thing as bunny size clothing.
Can I craft something?
Depends on how long it's gonna take.
Is there a guest store?
Not really a guest store. Javen, can you hear us? Still no response. Okay. There's not really a guest store. There's more of like a guest clothes, like think of it more of like a lost and found, and the beer baron just thought that these clothes would fit you guys very well.
Darn. I was gonna say if there was any like plush toys that we could just like snag the clothes off.
I think Warren's still too big for plush toys. Like
My coat, thank you very much. My coat doesn't really look.
There you go.
This coat is pretty snazzy.
So, but we discussed last week that we've been traveling together for like 2 years, right?
Yep.
You know what?
Yeah.
So what if I had like in the past crafted like a nice dress tailored jacket?
And I have a disguise kit, which I would most certainly have just a bow tie in that. Can I just give him a bow tie?
Yeah, okay. I'll let that go.
Okay. This is just a bow tie.
I'm okay with that.
There you go. That's your dinner wear. You got your jacket, but you also have a bow tie.
As you all sort of begin to enter the room, once again, the dining room that Chantrell was just in about 2 hours ago, the beer baron is sitting at the very head of the table, while pretty much all the other spaces are left empty. Lasada is not sitting down for dinner. She's standing very much at attention, waiting to be told what to do next and things along that line. The beer baron is sitting kind of back in his chair, and he goes, "Ah, my friends, please have a seat. Have a seat."
Thank you for having us and allowing us to enjoy this wonderful piece. And for the lovely clothes.
As you begin to sit down, the beer baron kind of gets up from his seat and holds out a hand to you, Chantrell, and goes, "My lady, you are as beautiful as ever," and kind of shakes it very daintily. And he reaches over to Nils and goes, "My boy, you have done a fine job on your mission. Very fine." Yes, he does the exact same. As soon as you do your hand thing like this, he does it the exact same way. And he looks down to Warren and he goes, Warren, my colleague. I feel very comfortable in saying my colleague. You are as much of an astute mind as I am, if not more."
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I am on my computer, so hopefully it doesn't explode. I am going to turn on my camera. It might be upside down. So we'll see what happens.
This will be fun. Green!
It's green!
It is green.
That's very green.
Why is it green?
Might not be working.
Maybe.
That's interesting.
And if you just want to do audio, dude, it's fine.
The light's on. Well, no, sure, but like now I'm curious.
Warren, you were about to say something.
I'm just thanking him for his compliments.
And as you all begin to sit down, he goes, "Tonight's menu is made exclusively from the finest meads that we have here. Everything has been soaked in some of the finest alcohol that we could find. We have," and he begins to go off a list of fishes and chicken, and there's a vegetarian option, all sorts of different meals for you guys to partake in. As you guys begin to kind of pick your orders, and Lasada is sort of writing them down on her book and getting them back to the chefs for the night, you see that now that the beer baron has sort of welcomed you all back into a very finer, a much finer establishment, you see that his face sort of, it doesn't necessarily change for the worse, but you can tell that he's definitely a little bit more serious than he's used to be.
It's us.
It is us.
What?
We froze it for a second.
Yeah.
Oh.
His face changes, and then...
You see, as a matter of fact, Nils, you see that he is handed a booklet. I'm just going to pretend like this is the booklet. And he opens it up and he goes, "What's your character's last name, Eddie?"
I don't have a last name.
Okay.
It's Nils.
That's fine. And he goes, "Very interesting. Would you like to tell me why you robbed that man on the road?"
Hmm?
"The man that you killed. Why did you rob him?"
I didn't rob him. I didn't take anything off of this person.
He holds up the booklet and he says, "No, you didn't take anything from him, but you certainly robbed him from your store. Or you certainly robbed things from his store. That's why I have just been handed a bounty worth over 10,000 gold on your head.
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing this.
What the fuck did you do?
Clearly, you robbed somebody.
Out of curiosity, was it the? I was kind of hoping this would end with him being gone and all, but well, the bounty's still out there. Shit.
As soon as you're very much flustered and trying to find what to say next, you see the beer baron lay the bounty on his table, and he goes, "My friend, we all have histories that we are not proud of. You have nothing to fear from me. I am not going to turn you into the authorities. You saved my life as well as my caravan, and you have been very upstanding to at least me. I simply wish to know why you stole from him. I do, after all, have employees to protect."
Hey, Javen.
Hey, Javen.
Well, back then it was just mostly out of necessity.
What did you steal from him?
It was a question. I think it'd be a shorter list of what we didn't steal from him, or at least try to. Well, long story short, I was trying to get things to living. I was living on the streets and trying to get things to survive, and he happened to have most of the things, and I thought I could sell a lot of the things, and it didn't work out. Got caught, almost burned at the stake, and luckily I didn't.
What you've missed, Javen, is essentially the bear baron has shown you all to your rooms. You all have been called to dinner, and for those of you who are normal sized, I don't know if this would include you or not, Leonard, because I don't know exactly what kind of frame you want to go for. Essentially, Nils and Chantrell both have dinner attire that was provided from one of the guest rooms. However, because Warren is not nearly as normal size, and again, I don't know what size you're kind of going for, there may or may not be clothes for you.
I mean, I'm just still wearing my leather jacket, shoes,
Okay.
and boots. Yeah.
Yeah, be nice to the kitty cat.
And the beer baron was handed a bounty for Nils of over 10,000 gold pieces for stealing from the man that was killed.
Alright, Dan.
Dinner!
He was trying to mount it.
I do too.
Sorry, dog is trying to mount the cat right now.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that lovely mental image.
You're fine. No. Basically, yeah. The dwarf that I killed, had a bounty out on my head because of something I did to him in the past, which is the reason I killed him was because I thought killing him would get rid of the bounty. But it didn't.
Okay,
Not even. Oh. I
I
don't
think
know.
his technology is giving it.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. We won't go too much farther without our fourth player. It's it's been a rough night anyway, with as late as it will. So we'll just continue until we get to the next story segment where the next in combat encounter will go, and then we'll just kind of cut it off there. And I'll work with
Hey,
Javen.
I don't think you can hear us. He's not in the call.
No, I
don't think
know.
he's here.
I'm just letting you guys know. I'm going to send him that message.
Okay.
can
Go ahead.
I make an check to see if Nils is lying?
Sure, go ahead.
Stupid.
What did you roll?
21.
21?
Yep.
Nils, are you lying?
Nope. I'm just not telling you everything.
Well, she definitely got that.
Okay, so you're not lying, but what did you say?
Well, you remember the whole burned at the stake part?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was almost a well, the reason that it's such a high bounty is I may have robbed him of so much that and I wasn't alone. I was kind of a pair of
Was it a lover or just a friend?
neither. It was a sister.
Okay.
As you say that, Nils, he kind of looks at the bounty and he goes, "If it makes you feel any better, you're the only one whose name is currently on this bounty form."
Oh yes, I was the only one that lost. But she was the one that got me out. So
I apologize for forcing an unpleasant experience upon you, my friend. I simply have to check everyone who comes into Brewcore for the safety of my employees and those who work under me. I can't have thieves entering Brewcore. I'm not calling you a thief. You have shown that you are of a good person. I just have to take certain steps and certain precautions.
What are you?
Kind of chokes on his drink. What?
silverware out of my pocket.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as the Baron calls Nils a good person, Warren kind of chokes on his drink.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
Don't ask how that fit up there. You don't want
I wasn't going. We weren't gonna touch it.
So as the meal continues on, and Lasada and Leonard keep kind of exchanging looks of both genuine curiosity and sort of morbid understanding that there's definitely more going on in the house than what either of them truly understand. The Beer Baron is the first to kind of finish his meal, and he stands up and, kind of goes, "Well, I do believe that is enough excitement for one evening. I think I'm going to retire early. Lasada, I do appreciate that you and your workers have made a fine meal today. I certainly hope that everybody here appreciates that. I certainly believe that we all do." Lasada doesn't even say thank you. She just sort of bows her head almost in really grotesque servitude, and then proceeds to just leave the entire building. "My friends, please stay and eat for as long as you like. I am going to retire for the rest of the evening. Have a good evening." Beer Baron gets up and leaves, and you guys are left to your own devices.
let's just say, in a sensitive situation that I'd rather not divulge.
Is this like something that we need to go save her?
No.
Is she in danger?
No. Yes, no, I don't think she's ever been in a situation she didn't want to be.
Oh, one of those. Okay.
$10,000 gold, and you never once thought to maybe, get in, change your face, and get the fuck out?
Oh, I did. I did change my face.
But
See, okay. Here's the thing. You see me now, and then I change into my true changeling form. This is the face that's wanted, and then I change back into what I normally am. This is the face that's not.
okay, well,
I mean, I've got a whole list of wanted faces that I'm not allowed to do anymore, but...
okay, but if we could stop putting where we're staying at risk, because that'd be great. Are we leaving this behind us, or I mean, clearly not completely, as you were trying to take silverware and.
Oh, that has nothing to do with bounty. That's just who I am.
You're
Sticky fingers.
So you're a klepto alcoholic.
Technically, I'd like to be called a con artist, but sometimes I just take the opportunity to take things, yes.
But why? Why?
Necessity.
Yes.
It is quite fun. Yes.
Not in a fucking woman.
I didn't hear.
What?
Oh, Warren just said, stop being a fucking moron.
Well put. Well put, Warren. Jesus.
Did you call Laura?
I'm tired.
All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and just call it here. I don't want to continue further without Javen. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream.
Cool.
So here's the thing.